spécial live à MusiquePlus. On reçoit ce soir la formation Tea Party. Le groupe lance une compilation qui s'appelle Tangents. Ils sont ici pour 60 minutes. Alors, on va faire un petit survol de carrière. On va regarder un petit peu plus près ce qui s'en vient. On a Jeff et évidemment Stuart de la formation. Hi guys, how are you?
Very well, very well.
Very well.
Très bien. Greetings.
Yes. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. For a big long 60 minutes, we'll have a chance to look back a little bit.
Explain ourselves as best as we can, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about the explaining, but looking back sometimes is kind of a fun thing to do. You've had a pretty busy year, I reckon, besides from putting together Tangents, your compilation, which we'll have a chance to talk about in a little bit. You're also working on a new record. Can you tell us a bit about that?
We're trying.
We're
trying. Oh my God, we're trying. I've actually just been in the studio for the last month, remixing all of the Tea Party videos in 5.1 surround sound, because we'll be releasing a DVD sometime in the new year, like March or April. So it's awesome. Like the audio is just the dimension that format puts you into is what our music always. It seems like it was always made for or something.
Yeah.
So, but that being done, now we have to concentrate on the new record. We have about 5 songs completed, and it's very, very heavy.
It's very heavy.
Very heavy.
If I think back to the things that you guys have done over the years, there's always been a fusion with many different influences, taking from here and there, East meets West, of course. What are the challenges for this album?
I think the challenges are going to be just to look at all the tools, assess all the tools that we've collected over the years and the tangents of music.
The tangents.
Hey, you like that throw? That's pretty good. Yeah. And
yes.
you know, but it's just to assess it all, collect it all, and really, you know, just really outdo ourselves. Like just push it to new heights. Because I think, for the most part, right now, rock music needs a serious kick in the ass. You know, we should do it. So.
Yes, we need to kick it in the ass. I said that too. I only repeated it because you said it once.
You can say ass in Quebec.
I only say it if the invite says it first.
Got a lot of nice ass in Quebec.
So who's the perfectionist? You guys work together. I'm guessing there's
Jeff
a lot
Burrows.
of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
What do? You're the hard guy. You go back on the other ones and what?
Yeah, man.
No, Jeff's actually the perfectionist. We're the Stuart and I are the ones who keep Jeff in line. I mean, he usually stops.
They try.
Have to keep him within 72 track range.
Okay. Ooh.
So yeah, it gets out there.
Right. Now I have to translate all that big chunk of conversation. I realized. Wow. Nice.
We can talk in French.
Can you? You can do the translation for me?
It's been a while.
Yeah, no, c'est Jeff qui est le perfectionniste.
Oui, voilà, j'avais pas besoin de traduire
qui,
ce petit morceau-là. Merci, c'est gentil.
There you go.
That saves me about 3 seconds. That's great. Thank you. Alors, on parle évidemment de la dernière année pour la formation Tea Party. Le groupe a été très occupé. On a mis sur pied une compilation. On va en reparler un petit peu plus tard, Tangents. Et évidemment, on travaille sur un nouvel album. Un album qui risque de s'en aller dans plein de directions différentes. En fait, il y a Jeff qui m'explique comment il travaille. Il dit que bon, c'est lui le perfectionniste de la formation. Et le groupe a toujours été chercher des influences un peu partout. Un hybrid, comme on dit en anglais, un mélange de plein de trucs. Qu'est-ce qu'on va faire exactement, la motivation pour cet album-là? Il y a Jeff qui me dit on a besoin vraiment de donner un bon coup de pied au rock en ce moment. Et puis, on est là, on va revenir avec un album et on va brasser ça un petit peu. We're going to go look at the new song on the compilation, which is maybe a little tease of what's coming up for the new album, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, that's the reason that we wanted to put it on Tangents, is because I think it's a really good representation of one side of the coin that we're going to pursue. You know, I mean, it's Walking Wounded is very grand song. You know, like the landscape. You know?
Yes. So let's go have a look at that, and we'll be right back.
Right.
On regarde Walking Wounded, première chanson, en fait la nouvelle chanson sur la compil. On vient tout de suite après. C'est la nouvelle pièce qu'on retrouve sur la compilation The Tea Party, une pièce qui s'appelle Walking Wounded, bien sûr. Why was this song in particular the one that ended on this compilation as a little tease of the new album? First new one ready, or did you want to give out something special?
Both
Okay.
things really. It was really the first song that was in its most complete form. You know, we did have other ones. We have other ones that are demoed, but just not, you know, to that extent. You know, there was something really pushing me with that song to finish it. You know, closure for a certain part of my life, and I just felt, you know, like for the fans, and I think the three of us agreed that there's just so much of us in that song. You know, with the power and the impact and everything else, and it was just a really good indication of where we are
Where you
actually
are
going to
right
go.
now,
Yeah,
yeah.
where we are and where we're going.
It's very interesting because in the booklet there's a song-by-song commentary, and I noticed that with the description of this song, you're talking about a Russian conductor and pianist.
Composer, yes, Sergei Rachmaninoff.
Yes.
He wrote a piece of music that was commissioned by the Russian Orthodox Church called the Liturgy of St. John, and it's just a choral piece, just voices, but a very, very dark piece. There was a section of it that, just with my CD player, one section of that one piece I had to keep playing over and over again, and I wrote Walking Wounded around
And that was the core
piece.
of...
Yeah, and then it actually, you know, we sampled a bit of it too, so in the bridge that comes up behind, you know, you'll hear those voices come up behind. And
That's nice.
it's
I think
very-
it's interesting that there's classical music influences, of course, and you can still feel it in the song as well. It's nice. All right, time for translation. On parle évidemment de la pièce Walking Wounded et on a parlé d'un compositeur, un compositeur, pardon, russe également, un pianiste. Je m'aventure à prononcer le mot Sergei Rachmaninov, qui, en fait, c'est de la musique classique tout simplement, et c'est un extrait d'une chanson, d'une pièce, d'une composition que Jeff a écouté régulièrement, longtemps, souvent. Et puis c'est cette chanson-là, en fait, c'est le petit squelette en la base de cette pièce-là. Ça a été important pour eux d'inclure cette chanson-là sur la compilation parce qu'on voulait donner une idée aux gens de où le groupe est rendu au moment présent et où on s'en va également musicalement dans le futur. We're going to go back a little bit now, start to go back, Sister Awake, 1995, and we'll come back for a little chat. Voici Sister Awake, Tea Party. Restez avec nous tout de suite après la pause. Live à MusiquePlus avec Tea Party se poursuit. Bougez pas. Toujours avec la formation Tea Party. On regarde un petit survol de carrière. Vous savez que le groupe a lancé une compile qui s'appelle Tangents. Let's talk a little bit about like putting together the compilation. And I mean, looking back, condensing, I'm guessing what, 10 years into 15 songs. It gives you the opportunity, but also the luxury of looking back on a few things, looking back on the band's material. Is there anything, can you share any anecdotes or memories of things that came back as you were maybe compiling the songs or thinking back to older material? Bring us back somewhere.
It's all
Travel
a haze,
through
man.
time.
Calgon, take
Is
it
it?
away. You know.
Well, I found it very interesting. I did a couple of remixes on the record, one with The River and the other one Save
yeah.
Me. And it was interesting going back to those tracks and just seeing, you know, like seeing the band in its infancy, right?
Yeah,
And the way
of
that we
course.
played, the way that we approached things, and you know, the urgency of the whole thing. You know, and I know that.
You're talking about my tempo,
Yes, I'm
aren't you?
stressing urgency.
Pre-flip days.
Yeah. It was, yeah, it was very. It's just. Sometimes I forget, you know, like I forget about what we've accomplished, and you can let, you know, day-to-day things sort of take over and you know, twist your moods a little bit. But this really offered a great opportunity to you know, reevaluate everything that we've done in such a positive way. You know,
That's
like
it.
Yeah, it really turned me around, and it motivated me towards the future of this band again.
Well, it feels like closure as well. Like we're ready to shift gears.
That's
you know,
it.
The clutch is in.
Because a lot of times putting together a body of work like that enables you to turn the page, close a chapter. I'm guessing that was the reason behind it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn the page. On tourne la page, c'est la fin d'un chapitre. On parle donc encore une fois de cette fameuse compilation. Ce qui est intéressant, c'est que de mettre sur pied une compile comme ça, lorsqu'on a 10 ans à condenser en quoi, à peu près une quinzaine de chansons, c'est un petit peu difficile de retourner en arrière, mais ça peut être aussi un luxe de prendre le temps de regarder et d'aller évaluer ce qu'on a fait auparavant. Et justement, Jeff m'en parlait un petit peu. Sur l'album, on retrouve 2 pièces qui ont été 2 pièces remixées, entre autres une pièce du premier album qui s'appelle The River. Et Jeff a trouvé ça particulièrement intéressant de retrouver, peut-être de redécouvrir le groupe à un stade un petit peu plus enfant. On a utilisé ce terme-là que je trouve pas mal comique. Et de voir aussi qu'il y avait vraiment une énergie qu'on retrouve pas nécessairement aujourd'hui. Hein. Vous savez, lorsqu'un groupe commence, on a un petit peu une urgency, comme on dit en anglais. Alors, une énergie un petit peu primitive autour du début de la formation. Alors, ça a été peut-être des petits flashbacks que le groupe a voulu partager avec nous. We're going to go look at Transmission. And this, I think, was a special period for you as well with that album, Temptation. Yes, you're all going.
Expérimentation.
Yeah.
Expérimentation.
In all things.
In all things.
Transmission, when we wrote that record here in Montreal at my house, where the studio was, it was a pretty dark period of my life, and you know, lucky I had my 2 friends to help me
Yes.
get through. But it was really good though, the way that we captured that mood within the music though, you know, and the new tools that we brought on board, because with the Edges of Twilight, obviously there was all the instrumentation,
Of course.
and you know, using the voices of you know, Moroccan music, Indian music, Arabic music, but with Transmission, with the machines coming in, you know, but like not so much in a you know, in a there was that word that was being thrown around for such a long time, electronica.
Electronica.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That wasn't really where we were coming from. Like our whole school of thought was like more the Brian Eno thing and everything.
Right.
And
Modernizing.
yeah, using electronics for ambience, you know, things like that. But then you know, sometimes some of our intentions just turned into demons, like Temptation. That's one demon
That's a
of a
nice way
song.
of putting it, a
Yeah,
demon.
yeah.
Alors, on fait référence à la pièce Temptation comme un démon parce qu'on parle évidemment de la période autour de l'album Transmission, qui a été une période assez difficile pour le groupe, une période assez noire pour Jeff. On a voulu de plus en plus expérimenter, pas nécessairement avec la musique étrangère de différentes cultures, mais surtout avec la technologie, pas nécessairement avec la musique qu'on a fait référence comme la musique électronique, mais plutôt aller chercher des effets un petit peu plus modernes et de travailler les ambiances avec ça. On regarde Temptation à MusiquePlus. Live à MusiquePlus avec la formation Tea Party se poursuit sur les ondes de MusiquePlus. Vous savez qu'il y a des fans ici, des chanceux, chanceuses qui vont poser des questions à la formation. Alors, Rania et Dinah qui ont une question pour Tea Party. Vous allez bien, premièrement?
Ça va très bien, merci.
Votre question?
Okay, I'm going to ask it in English. I'm Rania, this is Dana. We're both from the Middle East, and I was wondering, how can you explain that Middle Eastern influence in your music?
And the second part was, I was wondering if there's any chances of promoting your music in the Middle East, or maybe going on tour there.
Okay. What part of the Middle East are you? Palestine.
Yes.
Okay. Syria. Okay. Damascus.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I got the eye. Yeah. Well, the Middle Eastern influences began with my love of the Beatles. Like when I was 12 years old, I got Sgt. Pepper's. I listened to the George Harrison track with the sitar called Within You, Without You. And it was the first time really I heard classical Indian music. And from that point on, just something really caught me about the, you know, the esoteric aspect of that music, that intangible thing that you just can't quite place your finger on, but it's just so old and it's so sensual. Indian music, and then when I discovered Arabic music, it was just even more so, and it was kind of like, it's just my soul totally understood it, and it was a very strange thing, because once the band we would start touring around the world, and I had the opportunity after the first record to start picking up these instruments like the oud or the sarod or whatever, just because of how much I saturated my mind with that music, I could pick these instruments up and play them. you know, like with their proper voicings and everything else. And I just think that the fusion of you know, Middle Eastern music with rock, and rock music being such a powerful vehicle, and the two of them together, I mean, it's been done in the past. I mean, you know, Led Zeppelin had a couple songs, and the Stones have done it, and Beatles. But I think that where, you know, the Tea Party's going with it, you know, we've taken it somewhere very, very different, and it's our thing now. You know, it's like when people talk about the Tea Party, that's what they talk about. You know, and I'm really proud of that. You know.
Have you ever been anywhere in the Middle East?
Have I been anywhere in the Middle East? Well, we've been to Turkey, right, Istanbul, and I'm planning a musical sabbatical in January, hopefully, like Morocco. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And we have an agent over in Europe that is really interested in promoting us in the Middle East, so we just have to see how things calm down, and, you know.
It'd be great to see you guys there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Une question très intéressante. On parle évidemment des influences de musique qui viennent entre autres des pays arabiques, des pays arabes aussi, des influences indiennes, des trucs un petit peu plus exotiques. Il y a Jeff qui parlait de la première fois qu'il a été en contact avec ce genre d'inspiration. Ça a été entre autres avec les Beatles. On a mentionné aussi Led Zeppelin. Une facilité d'aller chercher aussi les instruments parce que c'est vraiment quelque chose qu'on ressent à l'intérieur de soi et c'est quelque chose qu'on veut refaire évidemment dans le futur. On a vu ça beaucoup également dans le passé pour la formation Tea Party. On s'en va à une courte pause et on revient tout de suite après live à MusiquePlus avec le Tea Party. Toujours live dans l'environnement MusiquePlus avec la formation Tea Party. On a demandé au groupe un petit peu plus tôt de choisir demande spéciale. So we asked you a little bit earlier to think of some videos you'd like to see, and one of the choices was actually my favorite as well, Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart. Who did that come from? The three of you?
Stuart picked that for me.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I love you, Jeff.
I love you, man.
Oh, it's such a big happy family.
Yeah. Well, Ian Curtis, for me, the singer of Joy Division, was the reason that I wanted to also explore poetry in rock music.
Yeah.
You know? So just to set the record straight for everyone out there, you know.
Yeah, he
I
did that
was-
to me as well. He made me want to read
Yeah.
and go out and get literature and,
Yeah,
and
and just
philosophy
you know,
and
back up your thoughts with
Yeah.
with weight, and you know, have different layers and everything else. I mean, because you know, there was just this misconception, and it should be cleared that, you know, I was never a Doors fan, and Jim Morrison has nothing to do with, you know, where I wanted to go. But for me, Ian Curtis
Ian Curtis
was
is-
the catalyst, you know, because that's a part of my generation.
But also there is an aesthetic to Joy Division that I find also in the Tea Party, in your album cover. If I look at Edges of Twilight, for example, the statues, and it's not necessarily a copy, but there's a similar kind of atmosphere captured in the photos of Peter Saville's work that does all the covers for the Factory Records. We talked about it a little bit earlier, because this is similar as well. So, I mean, there's an influence there, too, with the band.
Yeah, well, Stuart actually designed Tangents, and I think he did a great job.
Always in Factory Records work, there's always been like a simplicity and a timelessness to their work, and it just always appealed to us. So whenever it comes to our work, we look at that's sort of like classic works that we
Yeah.
look to for reference. So
It's
they got
good.
it right. So.
It's a good thing to like. Alors, on parle donc du choix de Joy Division, bien sûr, Love Will Tear Us Apart. Et il y a Jeff qui dit, premièrement, je veux parler de quelque chose et je vais être vraiment très clair. On a parlé régulièrement de Jim Morrison, des Doors, comme étant une de mes influences. Il dit, moi, je veux dire que c'est définitivement Ian Curtis de la chanson du groupe Joy Division qui a été pour moi une influence incroyable. Il m'a donné le goût de lire, d'aller chercher un petit peu plus de littérature. Et d'ailleurs, on a parlé un petit peu du parallèle. La même chose a été pour moi parce que j'aime le groupe beaucoup. Et il y a vraiment une esthétique autour de Joy Division qui est très semblable à celle de Tea Party lorsqu'on regarde des couvertures, des pochettes d'albums. Si on voit ici, c'est Stuart qui a fait la pochette de Tangents et ça ressemble beaucoup au travail de Peter Saville qui a travaillé pour The Factory avec Joy Division. Stuart me dit, j'aime beaucoup le genre un petit peu très simple, très charmant. Il dit, pour nous, c'est vraiment un classique. Alors, on vous présente ça tout de suite. Love Will Tear Us Apart, voici Joy Division à MusiquePlus. poursuit toujours avec des demandes spéciales de la formation. La prochaine ici que j'ai, c'est Coldplay. Coldplay, another band that I absolutely adore. Who picked Coldplay? I'm looking at...
We checked to see what bands you liked, and we picked them.
Yeah, that's it.
We're trying to impress
Yes,
you.
you're just trying to
Coldplay is a pleasant surprise for us. Just
Yeah.
I didn't expect much from that album when I got it, but it's sort of like Radiohead with songs, though. You know.
Yes.
Radiohead, I think, is a little overrated. I'm always a fan from the beginning, but that's just the way I feel. So.
Yeah, Coldplay feels a little bit more. The feeling is just bare, stripped down. There isn't all that fluff.
And like we were talking about too, the Nick Drake illusions as well. You know, for anyone who likes Coldplay, you can go
have
back
to listen to Nick
or
Drake.
Volkswagen Jettas.
Or Volkswagen commercials.
Cabriolet.
Either ones. Yeah.
So, donc, on a choisi un autre groupe qui tombe justement dans mes cordes et on dit « Oh non, c'était pour te faire plaisir. » On essayait de voir qu'est-ce que tu aimais vraiment. Petite blague en passant. Coldplay, un extrait d'album Parachutes. Coldplay, c'est un nouveau groupe britannique et en fait, on a été très surpris par cet album-là. On ne s'entendait pas à grand-chose nécessairement. Et il y a Stuart qui me dit, en fait, il dit « Moi, Radiohead, des fois, je trouve qu'on parle un petit peu trop de Radiohead. » Il dit « Pour moi, Coldplay, c'est peut-être une version plus simple, plus naturelle de ce qu'on devrait retrouver autour de Radiohead. Et bien sûr, si vous aimez Coldplay, il y a Jeff qui me dit c'est très, très, très important, vous devez aller chercher un album de Nick Drake. C'est une copie, mais en fait, c'est une bonne copie de Nick Drake. Alors, on regarde ça. Voici Yellow, Coldplay. C'était une demande spéciale d'information. Coldplay, Yellow, un extrait de l'album Parachutes. Très, 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 très bon choix. We have only a little bit of time left. I want to make sure to talk about the... I know. I did all the talking, all this blah, blah, blah in French.
C'est nécessaire, ma chérie.
C'est nécessaire, oui, je sais. Hey, tu m'as pas parlé français? Vous m'avez pas parlé français encore. Ouais, Jeff, oui, mais...
Yeah.
All right. Quickly, cover Painted Black.
Yes. Why?
Yes.
Why? It's well, if any band was going to cover it now, you know, especially given our penchant for what we wear, everything else, right?
Hey, me too.
Yeah,
Shit.
see, makes sense. We had a lot of people asking us to cover that song for various reasons, for soundtrack purposes or whatever, right? And excluding The Messenger, which was a Daniel Lanois song,
Of course.
we were never really. It didn't interest us to cover other bands' material, you know. But a song like that, we just kind of did it on a dare. We were recording up at Morin Heights.
Dare.
Yeah, and we had an extra day, so I just told the guys, like, okay, let's take 12 hours out of our day today. Like, we'll take only one studio day, and whatever we get finished at the end of the day, right? We'll just evaluate it and we'll see what we want to do, right?
So,
And
Painted
it-
Black it was.
And that's it.
Good. I'm afraid that's all the time we have, guys. I'm getting big, signs.
Okay,
Thank you so much for coming down.
our pleasure.
And we'll be back after the break. Yes, we're going to go to a break and we'll be right back. On s'en va une pause, on revient tout de suite après. Le spécial de Tea Party Live à MusiquePlus tire déjà à sa fin. Un petit peu plus tôt, on a parlé en fait d'une pièce qu'on a repris des Rolling Stones, une pièce qui s'appelle Painted Black sur l'album. Je n'ai pas eu le temps de vous traduire ça un petit peu plus tôt. Thank you so much for coming down. It was absolutely great to talk to you.
Our pleasure. Thank you,
Yes,
everybody.
yes.
Merci, merci.
When can we expect the new album? Interzone Mantras. That's it, right?
Right now,
Something
yeah.
like that?
It's called the Interzone Mantras, yeah. And
When-
we're hoping for April, May, June.
OK. Great.
Perfect
April, May,
world, yeah.
June. Avril, mai ou juin pour l'album qui s'intitule tentativement Interzone Mantras. Thank you very much. On regarde The Messenger à MusiquePlus. We'll see you soon, guys. Thanks.
Merci, Montréal.